Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Real Estate on this first day of spring,
Oh,
March
yeah.
20th. Tanya says, good morning and happy first day of spring, even though it's 24 degrees here in North Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, it was 24 when I drove my oldest son to school this morning as well. Although we're getting up into the mid 50s today with sun shining, so it'll at least maybe in the afternoon for a small portion of time feel a little bit like spring. If this is your first time listening or your 31st, that's right, 31st episode, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and although the smash, Alec Baldwin, the green screen's getting a little funky. Anyway, smash the notification bell so you're notified of new live sessions like this. Thank you to our new subscribers. This morning I saw Walt Wenzel, our guy Walt.
Hey, Walt, what's up?
Just south of me. Subscribed, and there were one or two others as well. Sorry, I'm not able to shout it out by name. Walt, we've known Walt for a good time, a good length of time. So I got excited when I saw him subscribing. The Lucas ladies say good morning, all. I want to give a shout out to a win that they had in a minute. But let's go through these. Janita, good morning. I hope Johnita. I always get when names are a little bit unique. I'm always worried that I'm pronouncing them right. Mark Webster says 10 leads off a property boost on KV Core. Great way to start the spring. Right on. Mike Smith is back. He's back.
Who's that?
Good morning, all. Let him get caught up before you bombard him, folks. Bob McGlynn, good morning. Ernest, let's go. Good morning to you as well. Let me kick this off, Ryan, actually, because this is a topic that's come up a couple of times, which is Tiffany Lucas in Maryland put on a home buyer workshop, but specifically for self-employed folks.
Oh.
And it was Saturday. She said it was awesome. Mark on our mortgage team, Mark Moholt.
I've talked to Mark.
Yeah. He's great. He helped Tiffany, and Angie, I think, is going to try and get us some clips and some examples. They had a full room, 25 registered, and 16 shows.
That's a good show rate.
60% show rate is phenomenal. I mean, that's fantastic. So good on you. And what I think we should do is, now that she's done one, is a bonus session. And I'll get Mark on, and I'll get Tiffany on, and maybe Angie on, and we'll talk about how it was promoted, why, etc. But it's taking an idea, something that we've talked about a lot on these sessions as it relates to mortgage and market conditions, etc. Tiffany has decided to embrace being the self-employed expert in her market, helping self-employed business owners who want to buy real estate, whether it's for their first time purchase or they want to buy their first investment property. And she is owning that, and good on you. And congrats for that. Tanya also said, sounds amazing. What kind of event? So it was a home buyer workshop specifically for self-employed individuals. And one of the reasons why I want to do that follow-up is we'd like to turn that into some evergreen content that our co-marketing partners can then leverage to create some warm referrals and hot client opportunities for them as well. So, so more to come on that front, but kudos and congratulations to Tiffany and Angie and Mark. Lots of people talk about doing stuff and want to get out and do stuff. You did it. And 0 to 1 is the hardest. 0 to 1 is the hardest. So now you could do these quarterly, or you could even do them monthly, and keep your pipeline full of people that are totally disposed to doing business with you.
So 16 people in person. I mean, you would have to really fumble that up. You got them in the door. You'd really have to mess up not to get some business from that. Totally. 16 live bodies. Yeah.
Totally. Laura says, good morning. Been away a few weeks. Had surgery, but back and ready to roll. Need to pay off that medical deductible now. Well, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Hopefully a quick recovery. And yes, let's see what we can do to help you pay off that deductible. Good morning, George. etc. Okay, let's get into the topics du jour.
Oh,
For today.
Yeah, okay. So let me put up the screen here. Question of the day. Do you think, just a simple one, do you think real estate values in your area will inflate or deflate over the next 12 months? I forgot to put it on the community tab, so just comment down below. In your area, will prices go up or will they go down?
You can just say up or down. We're talking about the prices of the average priced home in your market over the next 12 months, up or down. What are your thoughts on
how
that?
you feeling today? Because there's a lot going on out there in the world, isn't there? And then I'll jump in. Go ahead and comment below, and I'll jump in just to my social post, Josh. We were just talking. You know, what's interesting about social media? I think this got ghosted, or I did something wrong with the post, but I haven't had a like or a share. Not that I'm asking for it, but I think it's an interesting phenomenon. You know, you wonder, like, because sometimes I'll just post something real simple like a cocaine bear and you'll get like 30 likes, you know, right? Yep. And then I put all this work into doing this kind of like this meme with like animated Jerome Powell and Bitcoin go up, real estate go up even more. And I wonder if they got ghosted because of the content. That's what I'm worried about. A little bit of conspiracy theory stuff here.
So anyway, it may be, here's what I can,
go ahead.
This is not what probably happened here, but I know that I personally, sometimes for some reason, if I'm posting on my phone, it will auto select to only show to friends or there's even one where it's like only to you, like only you can see it or something like that. And I'm not suggesting that's what happened.
It could be. I've done that before too. Well, I'm going to try to get the comments going. I'm going to start to get the conversation going. I'm going to tag Walt Wenzel since he's here, and we'll tag our buddy Ernest. What you think, just to get the conversation going. So if you get a ghost, just a little tip here. If you get ghosted on a post and you want some engagement, comment a few friends and ask them to give feedback. So I'm going to do that. But anyway, all I did, well, this is just a current events post. You guys know I like to go here at least once a week. All the bank bailout stuff is still going on. So, you know, it's basically Bitcoin's flying. I'm just grabbing a current event, spinning it into the real estate arena, saying, hey, do you think real estate will go up like Bitcoin is? And if you do, get in touch with me for message me. You know what it is, Josh? I'm remembering now. The last time I said message me in a post, I did this like a month ago. I said PM me or message me. They ghosted it.
So I wonder what would happen if you just said PM me.
I'm just going to leave it out. Or just...
And so some of you listening might be wondering what ghosting means. Okay, so here's where the idea of ghosting, or where I first heard the term. Back in the day when we were showing people how to generate tons of leads and grow their database with Craigslist, there was a phenomenon that would happen that if you did certain things in your post, it would look like to you that your post was live and available to be viewed by the public, but it was ghosted. In other words, it wasn't actually being shown to people searching for properties on Craigslist. And that phenomenon can happen on other platforms.
My tinfoil hat had me thinking it was Bitcoin, but I think it was more me just like appealing for people to private message me. I don't think they like that.
Or people are just grumpy because even though it's the first day of spring and even though the sun's shining, it's cold. Who knows? It could be any number of reasons.
Or I just had a crappy post.
But if you see a trend, right? If you notice a trend, it doesn't hurt to try and, you know, figure out, is this something, did I do something wrong, right? Is there something in my post that could be causing this? Or did I technically, like, did I do something wrong where, again, I've done this before where I make a post, you know, and it's like a picture of me and my, you know, my daughters or whatever. And I only show it to myself, right? Oh yeah. So only me. Sometimes for some reason on the app, sometimes the only me is selected. Well, you're not going to get any activity if that's the case.
You know, I always wondered if only posting the specific groups actually gets you more engagement with that group, if Facebook will prefer that, but there's no way to really know without
or really logical way to test it. Hey, keep the comments coming below. We're getting lots of great comments.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Let us know below in the comments. Do you think values in your area are going to go up or down over the next 12 months, right? Over the next 12 months. Obviously,
what do you think?
Over the long term, they're going to go up, but just the next 12 months or even the rest of this year? What do you think?
Josh, what do you think in Central PA?
I think they'll probably be pretty flat. I'm gonna take the sort of the high road and say, and the reason being, when things got crazy, and it was a different kind of crazy, but when things got crazy in 8, 9, 10, even 11, 12, things just pretty much flatlined because we're in a conservative market. We don't see, generally speaking, the huge spikes up. So my guess is they're going to remain relatively flat. Now, that said, different pockets are going to act differently. For example, 750 and up is probably going to come down.
Yeah, real estate is so local, and that's where we can provide value, guys. These kinds of conversations and engaging people around that. What Josh just did, Josh, what you just did for a minute there, you could make that a short on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Consumer focus, talking about how different pockets will react differently. And your call to action is always just contact me direct, to talk about your house.
And Ryan unknowingly teed me up for a shameless plug for 11 o'clock. So once we're wrapped up with this show, we do our Monday marketing mastermind. And today, talking about short form videos and how you can use those to get actual clients, right? Not to, put together goofy dancing stuff and things of that nature, right? But how to actually use short form videos to get you clients. And I'm going to tease an example, which will be my social post of the day, a video that I created while in my car yesterday, waiting for my youngest daughter's soccer game. It was 30 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was idiotic. And so I was like, they're warming up for a half an hour. I was like, might as well put something together real quick. I'm wearing a winter hat. I'm sitting in my car, and I put together a little short form video. I was also inspired by the fact that earlier in the morning, on a Sunday morning, I had another person reach out from a TikTok video, wanting help from wanting some mortgage advice and help with special finance.
And they were an adult, like over 18 on TikTok?
I think so. Seemingly,
wow. Where's that video?
What's that?
Let's show that video.
It should be. It's not that one. I was gonna screen share it, but if you can find it, I didn't post it on my personal. I probably should have, but I didn't post it on my personal.
Oh, I saw it on YouTube. Yeah. Let's show everybody.
Yeah.
Was it on your Josh Shanley EXP channel?
It is. Yeah. If you want to grab it there, we'll just show it there that way. But it was about a mortgage program or product. But it was more general speaking. It wasn't about a specific product. It was just talking about, if you go to shorts, there you go. There's me in my winter hat. And this is, okay, I'm talking about mortgage. You all can do this. Okay. You all can and should do this. You don't have to be a licensed loan originator to talk about programs that your mortgage partners have available. Okay. So don't let that stop you. Use that as a means, and then you can make a warm handoff, right? So that then they can warm handoff back to you. So all this is, I think it's under 30 seconds. I think I've tried to keep it under 30 seconds so I can post it on Google Business as well. And it's just a simple video talking about, it basically addressing the fact that you may not need to have. Oh, no, what is this? Okay, I'm sorry. This is talking about the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars, and as long as you have 2 out of the 3 pillars, that you probably qualify. So I ask a question at the beginning, wondering if you can qualify for a mortgage to purchase a home or investment property, ? As long as you have 2 out of these 3 things, you likely can qualify. Number 1 is verifiable income. Number 2 is quote unquote good credit. And I address the fact that good credit can be 580 plus, and we even have programs for 500 plus. And number 3, assets of some kind, whether it be cash or other types of assets. And then simply the call to action is to comment below or reach out to my contact information that you'll find in the profile. Very simple.
So you guys can go watch that at Josh Shanley EXP on that channel. Give Josh a few likes to help spread it. If you guys comment, Josh, we got to figure out a way. If you guys comment with your own shorts and stuff and you need some more activity on them, feel free to do that either in the Facebook group or on our YouTube channel. We'll always go and like your video and kind of seed it as well. And I'm sure other people will. So,
yep. So at 11 a.m. Eastern, after this session, I'm going to do a deep dive, and I'll probably even create a video live there. And we're going to talk about sort of define short form videos, talk about the different platforms that you can and should be posting to, creating them, and then how to actually do all of that in a way that generates real client opportunities. Soledad, I use, and I'll actually use these on that session as well. Like I'm going to screen share my phone. I use CapCut, which is free. However, that was not what I used to generate the captions. I don't like CapCut's caption generator, and it may just be because I haven't taken the time to figure out how to best use it. For that, I use an app that's literally just called Captions. It's a purple icon, I think. Hold on. Yeah,
does it do it automatically?
Icon. Yep, you literally.
Yeah.
Now that one isn't free. Captions isn't free. Okay, I don't remember what it costs. It's not like super expensive or anything. But with that, you choose the video that you want, you hit process, and in a minute it populates it, and it is like spot on. And you can do a lot of different things, like you can change the font and the way that it's highlighting. So yeah,
great.
Yeah.
There's a comment here. Need you to see comment on my Facebook videos. That idea, you know what I'm going to do on the Wake Up site? I know this is very easy to implement, so it's not a big promise. I'm going to put like a little chat box, like a page where we can all, if we need more activity on our content, where we can all go like stuff. Yeah. Remember we used to have like extravaganza back in the day on our Facebook page? Yep. We'll do something like that where if you guys want to share the stuff you're creating with other members of the community, we can get activity on it. We'll just do it right on the website. So I'll more about that tomorrow.
Yeah, Soledad said, is that available for Android? I would assume
something like it is always.
Yeah. I know CapCut is, right? And
is that available for non-boomers? Let's check. Let's see.
I don't even know how we went from
Sorry.
What's funny is my brother, who's only a few years younger than me, he's total Android as well. While Ryan is looking that up, as an encouragement, okay, my shorts, this is my shorts feed on YouTube. Some of them have 2 views, 4 views, 9 views, and then some of them have 437.
Yeah.
And the one yesterday has 199. I literally didn't do anything other than upload it. Everything I did with that, there you go, captions for videos.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. All I did was upload it from my phone and then go watch my daughter play, where my face was literally frozen solid by halftime. I literally couldn't cheer or talk. I was like, oh, girl.
We were that cold too here in Florida. I was at a soccer game too, and it was pretty wild. It was cold.
Brutal. Look at this. I didn't even know this. Caption app is $9.90. I'm paying $9.99 a month. I better check on that. Or $54.99 annually. It's only worth it if you're gonna use it, right?
Yeah.
And actually, this there's a point to be made with this. Sometimes signing up for something like that creates the accountability to get you to do the thing, right? Sometimes you need to sign up for shit and buy stuff. I'm going to have to add the explicit to the podcast on this. Sometimes you have to sign up for stuff.
I thought it would be me who did that first.
Yeah. To create the accountability and the motivation to actually do the thing. So if you've been like thinking or feeling like, you've got to start creating and syndicating short form videos, maybe signing up for something where there's a little bit of monetary pain is the thing you need to push you, off the starting block, out of the starting block, and to actually get rolling. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at mortgage rates and what's going on there.
They look about flat from where they were Friday,
Yeah.
or maybe they're down a little bit more, 6.55. I was happy. The deal I have in progress, Josh, I got a little bit of a lower rate, which
Okay.
if I'm going to plug the mortgage team, I thought that was very cool that I just kind of in passing asked about it. And Jordan on our team went and just did that for me. So good stuff.
Well, here's the thing. And we can say this, but you'd have to experience this, through us working together. We really, really, really are playing the long game with the mortgage team. We're going to do whatever we can to help best serve the client, because when we do that, we know there's more opportunity to help and serve more clients.
Yeah.
Right. And my point is, we're not going to lose any one deal. We're not going to lose the forest through the trees, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We want everyone to
feel good at the end of the transaction
and happily refer more. Absolutely, 100%.
So,
well, this ties in another thing I was recording this morning that I was going to share. And we've mentioned this briefly, but I just recorded a short video before we went live that I haven't posted yet about a no income, no employment program, which is actually what Ryan, you've already mentioned it, so I'm not sharing the business, but it's what Ryan and his wife are using to take cash out to then purchase another asset. No income, no employment. Now you have to have reserves, but the cash out can be the reserves, and you have to basically you're qualifying on credit score and do you have cash reserves? And again, the cash reserves can be the cash that you're pulling out with the refi.
I didn't know that detail. Yeah, because I don't even think they. When I say this is a no doc, like no stress kind of transaction, they haven't asked for anything. There's an appraisal and a credit score.
Yep.
It's kind of unbelievable.
It's really, really simple. And it's just another illustration that there are so many products and programs available out there, of which we have access to, but we're not the only ones. Let's be honest, right? You can find these things. And if you can't, then let's chat. But these programs exist. You just got to know where to look, how to ask good questions, etc. Soledad, on that particular one, the example that the example that I actually recorded the video, the minimum is 640. And obviously the better, the lower the rate, and there are other factors there.
When I did the no income qualify on the asset alone is 640.
Right. Yes.
I think the rate just goes up. Yeah.
Just that one in particular. Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
What do you got as far as what we're working on? What's cooking?
Yeah, I know you have something. I've been playing around with phone call leads, as some of you guys might know, and this might be small on your screens. But we do have a campaign that's going pretty well here in St. Pete, and I'll show the page it's going to. But we've gotten, and you might feel different about these numbers than I do, but we've gotten 7. It's 15-second or more phone call connections. So people calling off a Google ad directly into the office. They've been $32 a piece. Which I'm encouraged by. I don't want them to be $32 a piece, but I think that if they hit the right person at the office, somebody on floor time, and there's an actual conversation, this could ROI nicely. Yep. I'm encouraged because it's early in a campaign, and the way you have to approach PPC is that you're going to optimize this down. When you have bigger budgets, they go down. Google kind of rewards you after time if you keep it going. So I'm expecting this to trend down toward the $20 a phone call range. So just an update on that. I've been talking about this. I'll show the ad real quick, and then I'll let you show your stuff here, Josh. Let's look here. So all it is it's a call optimized campaign, and it's literally just says call the number, and the ad looks like this on Google. Chat with a great agent from Forever Florida Real Estate Now, specializing in St. Pete. So basically, when they call, they know they're talking to an agent, and the keywords I'm running this for are very minimal. I think it's just a handful of keywords right here around St. Pete. Yeah. The St. Pete area.
So for those interested, just hold your horses.
Yeah.
We are doing 2 things. Number 1, we're working on putting technology in place so we can better track everything, so we can make sure that we're optimizing the actual calls themselves better. Then I'm going to test in my market, and we may have the ability for us to do some of this work for those who are interested. But for now, like, let us get it dialed in. Here's what's exciting. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I said I like to share this because I like to get feedback as we do it. So if you've tried this or you're doing it, let us know. The only thing I was mentioning, Josh, is that you do need to have a URL that has the same phone number on it somewhere. And I didn't want to have the URL drive traffic to our KV Core homepage because they're going to get lost there. So this landing page that you're looking at here will be ready for everybody to use in the next week or two. And it's meant to just be real simple and have the number. So if it gets clicked, Google knows. And before you go again to Josh, just know that you're going to want to have a real call tracking system in place. Right. And we do not have that yet at Forever Florida. This is just the office line.
Yeah. So we're working on some of the pieces to the puzzle here, and we'll have more information. You know how we roll, like maybe later this week, maybe early next week, where we have more data and we've got better technology in place to maximize those calls and the ad spend. Here's the exciting thing for me, from my experience, is those calls, you should at least be getting 1 out of 5 into a client, at least. And with what we're going to put in place with that, it might be like 1 out of 3. Okay. 1 out of 3. It's not like cold lead generation on Facebook and Instagram.
They're calling you.
Yeah. There is significant intent. They've seen an ad where that showed up when they were searching for you, not maybe you directly, but they might have been searching for you directly even, and they're calling directly.
It says talk to an agent now. They know in the ad. I explicitly put that language in there because I wanted them to know what to expect.
Yeah.
Tanya, a call tracker, there's services out there that will kind of track different sources of your ads to specific numbers. You can even swap out the numbers dynamically on your website. We're getting a little geeky here, based on the source. So if it sees it's a Google call, it'll swap. Or if it's a Facebook ad, it'll swap. And then there are dashboards that will tell you, hey, your calls are coming from these different sources. So that's kind of the next step, is to put that infrastructure in place.
I mean, just letting you see under the hood. That's what we're working on for ourselves first, and then for our co-marketing partners and others interested. But we've got to get it figured out for ourselves first.
Just know it is possible to pay to have people call your office. That's exciting.
Now,
that's pretty cool.
I want to say though, I don't think it makes sense to only do that. Even if or when we get this totally dialed in, it shouldn't be your only means of growing your database and nurturing your database, etc. Like, you don't want it to be a one-legged stool, because ultimately, like, Google could change that.
Yep.
And it could disappear, right? So, I think it's always incredibly important to have multiple sources of clients and multiple ways to be growing your database on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So,
all right, what do you have?
Yeah, I just wanted to hit on, I don't have anything like super granular that I wanted to dig into. What I wanted to talk about were two things. Number one, on Saturday morning, we teased last week, I think on Friday, when we were talking about QR codes, episode 30, go check that out. There was lots of good stuff in there. Ryan showed a postcard that he had sent in his local market that generated, they sent out 100 postcards. They got 8 QR scans and 1 come list me lead. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to R&D that in my market. So Ryan and I had been talking late last week. How do we want to build the list to deploy this marketing campaign to? And so Saturday morning, I recorded several tutorials on how we're doing that. Okay. And I'm teasing that to let you know that that's going to be, I think it's going to be a free mini course once we have it end to end for all of you. So stay tuned for that. But just to get your mind thinking about like all of the crazy stuff that we can do nowadays. So here's how I'm deploying that campaign in my market. Okay. And I want to let you see the thinking behind this. Okay.
And I'm just showing on the screen what it is for those who weren't here Friday. This is just kind of what we did local, and Josh can talk about what he's doing there.
Yeah. So Ryan, threw this idea out. Hey, we need to test this, right? What would be a good area for us to test it? And, I was trying to figure out, what makes the most sense. I live in a weird scenario where, like, my city and zip code, the township that I live, there are people that live in this city and zip code that aren't in the same township, that are in a different school district. And then there are people that live in a different city and zip code in the same township. It's just a weird conglomeration, right? And Hamden Township is the township I live in, and I would like to get some more business there. Okay. So what I determined or decided is twofold for the audience. The list, the transactions list that we're going to offer is for Hamden Township. That's the township I live in. But if we were to send it to the entire township, all of the residences in the township, like the actual residential homes, it'd be like 10,500 or 11,000. And we don't have that kind of budget to test with. So what I decided was, instead of that, I sort of melded together two audiences. Number one is my direct neighborhood, right? And one of the reasons, quite honestly, is I know somebody in my neighborhood is selling, and they haven't picked an agent. And I have a listing in my neighborhood that I already have the listing. We're just we're on hold. She's building a new home, so we're waiting for that to get far enough along that it makes sense to put hers on the market. Okay, so that's part of the audience, and it's easy, right? Now that's a small audience. That's 170 homes. And, in talking through this with Ryan, there are 12-month rolling periods where 0 homes sell. And then there are 12-month rolling periods in here where it's 6 to 8. Okay. So, but I want to optimize that. But the other piece that I wanted to do is try to identify the low-hanging fruit throughout the township. Okay. So the second piece of the puzzle, or the second piece of that audience that I created. And again, these tutorials, we've already got them for you, and we're going to give them to you. And we can even offer you an easy button once we have some of this in place for you. But the other piece was I did homes in the township with a high likely sell score in Remind. Huh. So I went into Remind, and there are other ways that you can replicate this if you don't have access to Remind. I used Remind because it's free to me in Bright. Okay. Those two lists combined, it was like 650 or so in thanks.io. So we've got a mailing list now that we're going to deploy this idea to, and we'll probably get it sent out this week, and then we'll start to have results and feedback later this week or early next week about, the scan rate, the number of leads generated, the type of activity. And again, we're going to make this an end-to-end mini course for you all, and offer the easy button with the expectation that if you use the easy button, you're going to be sending through thanks.io, because we've got to be able to integrate all that together. We need the QR code scan technology to maximize and optimize the responses and so forth. So that's the first thing that I was working on and wanted to mention. The second thing is just to continue to encourage you to stay at it. Okay, to stay at it. And I'll weave in the mindset post today. This is what I posted this morning. Is where is it? Here we go. The successful have failed many more times than the spectator has even tried. Okay, the successful have failed more times than the spectator has even tried. It reminds me of the man in the arena, I think, which is Teddy Roosevelt, or maybe I'm misattributing that quote or that story. But and here's the point of what I'm saying. Like, we're doing all this stuff, and some of it works and some of it doesn't. But you're not going to know until you actually do stuff. And from the stuff I've been doing, okay, this weekend I did less work than I have been doing. In other words, the last couple Saturdays I'd been sending text blasts and I had been sending follow-ups. I did none of that this weekend. It was a busy weekend in the Shanley household. We had kids running event to event, just all, which is many weekends. But even then, sometimes I can weave that in. I did none of that. And yet still, I had numerous warm inbound emails and texts, because I just keep putting stuff out into the market. Just keep putting stuff out into the market. And if you do enough of that, and if you focus on growing your database and nurturing it, right? Just those two things, like business is going to find its way to you.
And it only
keep at it.
You're only spending an hour a day on that side of things at tops, right? You're not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're on these episodes with me. You're actually serving clients, but this can be a routine where you just, how can I get more business and how can I convert existing? That's an hour every morning.
Right.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, and some mornings it's 20 minutes. It's not even an hour all the time. George, going back to the postcard conversation, I'd like to send the same postcard and retarget 100%. So that's how we're going to. Some of the things that we're going to build into that campaign is, number one, the ability to have it be that this isn't the way to win with this strategy is not sending one postcard. Is to send a direct mail, whether it's quarterly or every month, or if you want to get crazy, twice a month, and vary the messaging, right? Is that, and then also having a campaign for the responders, which is the retargeting component. So that when someone scans the QR code, when they opt in, you have a trigger or a retargeting process that happens with that. Now, in my opinion and experience, some of that needs to be manual work. There are things you can automate once they respond, but some of it needs to be manual. And I'll tie in the conversation that Ryan had last week. The Come List Me seller lead that came from that, there was a manual piece of that without that may not have been the Come List Me, which was someone in the office hand delivering a CMA. Now, you don't have to hand deliver it. You can mail it. Okay. You can mail it through thanks.io, or you can literally print it out a packet and handwrite whatever. But there is going to be a manual component of that. The good news is, like, that's work worth doing. These are
the hand deliver. I'd almost say the hand deliver is a must. If you have that's just and maybe because of the market I'm in, everything's within 2 miles, so it's easy for me to say. But if you can do it.
Well, that was the other reason why I wanted to figure out how to build a targeted list in Hamden Township, because it's the same for me. All of the homes on the farthest home away that is on that list is like 2.5 miles. And not only that, I'm driving around Hamden Township, taking kids this way and that all the time. I can just add it to my route, right? Like you just kind of plan out, okay, I'm going to be here Tuesday night dropping Tegan off for soccer. I can just drop it off at so-and-so's house, right?
You'll be one of the only ones in your market doing it.
And if you drop it off in something like this, right? Like, I mean, you are going to get attention when you do that.
Wait, you drop it off. Wait, what was that? Is that like a special envelopes you bought, or is that?
Oh, you can buy these on Amazon, right? They look like they're important.
I love it.
I mean, buy them on Amazon. You get a box on Amazon for not that much. If you literally on Amazon search for Rush Priority Express envelopes or
devil's advocate, doesn't that look like it was dropped off by a delivery guy if you do it like that?
Yeah, but why would you? If this shows up on your front step, you're not opening it.
Open it. I mean, I'm gonna open it.
Even and in that scenario, I mean, I don't know.
I guess you're gonna show up on the Ring camera. Yeah. Either way. And you'll get people at home sometimes. Yeah.
So David says, and what are you putting in? And by the way, I want to keep harking back to this. And this isn't like to drive you guys crazy or whatever. Like we just haven't put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But part of the point of this show is like we're letting you under the hood as we do this stuff. Yeah. So we're going to document all of this, and it's going to be available to all of you. What are you putting in the envelope? What I do. And it's totally up to you. Well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. So I was going to go someplace, but here's the easiest thing. If you're offering the postcard that we showed, which is the transactions list, it can literally be an MLS printout with the transactions for the last 30 days or the last 90 days. Okay. You might also include in there an RPR mini report. And when I do that, I include two sort of marketing components. Number one is a PDF, a one-page PDF that I've created with screenshots of Google reviews saying nice things about me. And number two, when I'm sending to homeowners like this, I've got a flyer that has 3 alternate options to a traditional listing that we offer. Okay. So again, we're going to document all of this for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But the simplest thing is a cover letter and the printouts of
sales in
the
your area.
transactions.
Yeah.
And you could use like the little thumbnail view, right? So it could end up being, 3, 4, 5 pages. The client thumbnail view, that's what I choose anyway in Bright MLS when I'm printing those out.
Josh, going back to our QR session on Friday, have you tried a QR code with like a welcome video, like scan QR for welcome video about this, or some kind of interactive?
That's a great idea, but I haven't.
Yeah, make it like a full page QR scan for and just right up top, scan for a welcome message from Josh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So now that we'll add that to test with this process, right?
Yeah.
Because when you make that, I mentioned this at some point recently. We've talked about the fact that 75 to 80% of consumers are only going to talk to one real estate agent when they decide to buy or sell real estate. And that video from you is like they're having a conversation with you. Even though it is one way, it still is like that. Now, that doesn't mean that maybe that number holds exactly true if they watch one video from you, but it certainly is stacking the deck in your favor. That when they decide to buy or sell, that it's you that they're going to do that with.
So Josh, your 11 a.m. huddle is at that link.
It's always the same link. Always the same link. growwithjosh.com/huddle. growwithjosh.com/huddle. That's my Zoom room, and that's how we do the Monday Marketing Masterminds. And today, just like last week. So last week's we did a deep dive on 5 steps for turning cold leads into hot clients and warm referrals. We clipped that and added that to the Wake Up Real Estate YouTube channel. I think it was made public or live this weekend. You can check that out. We'll do that the same with today's session. So if you can't make it or you want a second look after the session, we'll clip it. In other words, we'll just clip the witty banter at the beginning. And, at the end, we typically will open it up for any topics. We'll clip it so that it's, on the topic at hand, and we'll add that available. Ryan, you were about to say something though.
Yeah, and I'll plug too. You don't know this yet, Josh, but for Thanks.io, which I'm a co-founder of, I'll be doing office hours starting this week at 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday for this week. So if you're using Thanks and you're just kind of stuck or you don't know what to do, I'll be live. That's at go.thanks.io/office hours. If you want to check that out, or just email me, Ryan@thanks.io, if you have any questions there.
Yep, it's growwithjosh.com/huddle. 1 second here. We'll add that as scrolling on the bottom. I want to tie. I meant to do this while I was on this topic, but I'll tie it back. I had a call. Somebody called me on Friday. Or actually, no, he emailed and asked me to call him, and I was running around, so I called him back. And this ties to the real estate transactions idea, or specifically geofarming. It's an agent in my market, in my general market, that wants some help with this stuff. So your office hours, your Thanks office hours is great. But he was wondering, he wanted to target a specific community, and he had no idea. Like this is an agent. Like he was very transparent and uncomfortable with the fact that he's using Outlook. He has no CRM. He does have a website, but he was very self-deprecating. Like he knew that he needed to kind of, do something different and get out of his comfort zone. And so in the mini course, I showed how he wanted to target an 80 home little community with a geo-targeting campaign. And so we'll document that as well. But there's any number of ways that you can slice this up. But the most important thing that you have to think through, that we can help you think through, but ultimately you have to decide what is the audience, right? Like that whether it's a direct mail campaign or something else, some other type of marketing campaign, like the audience is the first place to start. Who am I marketing to? And what we've found for many years is quite often people go way too broad. But in this scenario with Brian, one of the things that I told him was we can absolutely help with this. And also, if you're expecting to dominate your market by targeting an 80 home geo farm, right? Like there also needs to be the reality of there's too small and there's too broad, and finding a happy medium. And he totally understood that. He wanted to use it as sort of like a beta test, and then to be able to deploy the same thing into other communities as well. So
we're going to learn. We're going to learn. Part of the reason we're doing the test, Josh, I sent it to about 100 people local. We're going to resend to about 500 local. Yep. There's probably a sweet spot. You don't want to go too big because of budget constraints, but also 100 is probably too small.
Yeah. And the critical key in there, and I don't know if it's my internet or Ryan's that lagging, but a critical component
range to really get an idea how direct now were you.
So a critical component with any marketing is being able to keep it congruent to the audience, right? And if you go too big, you can't make the messaging congruent. And I'm sure one of the reasons why it worked in Ryan's scenario is they targeted Gulfport, which is just a very specific little town. And so finding that happy medium between too big and too small is, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. All right, it's probably me. But the bandwidth seems to be amiss here. So let's go ahead and come in for a landing. Some of the things that we talked about today, we're going to continue to iterate, test, and share results. And we'll be sharing them here live on these shows every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. Number 2, tomorrow is Texting Tuesday. So I'll have a text script and email script that you can R&D and send out to your database to create some conversation opportunities and hopefully appointment opportunities. We've got the Monday Marketing Mastermind, which is now just over 10 minutes away on short form videos and how to use those to get more clients. You can check out all the latest stuff at wakeup.realestate, wakeup.realestate. Ryan has been working really hard to make the platform easy to navigate and to find the stuff that we talk about and that we're sharing, etc. So check that out. Thank you to those who have been subscribing to the channel. We had 1 or 2 people subscribe while we were live. Brian Beck, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe, rate, and review if you listen on your favorite podcast medium. If you watch these live, please like, comment, subscribe, share with others in your office, in your brokerage, and smash the bell. We'll be back tomorrow. If you need anything, if you have questions, if you want to chat about our co-marketing platform, you can schedule a time at josh15.com. Before you do, though, check out Ryan's video at wakeup.realestate/co-marketing. It's a short little 6 or 7 minute video. I'll just give you some context. And actually, I've got to create some content to explain some of the nitty-gritty of what we do with that. So that's on my to-do list today as well. So yeah, back tomorrow. Thanks so much for all the comments, all the encouragements. Let's make it a great week, and we'll look forward to chatting again tomorrow.
See you guys.